Oh man, was this game a surprise. The new Doom game is actually really good. I mean, you do not need me to tell you that. The reviews for the game were all over the web. But that is not all. Apart from including a rather robust console, well, it used to be better. More about that in a second. It seems to be one of the first AAA experiences that includes Vulcan support. So, I decided to make this special episode to answer the question, is Vulcan a good thing for people with some older GPUs? As well as sharing some useful commands that may help you get the best performance out of this game. This is the LowSpecGamer, where every time a new technology comes out, I can't help but ask, will this help me play the game on a slower computer? So forget about high resolution and over 60 FPS because we're going to make this game run, and see how Vulkan does.
Rip and tear until it is done.
This is the video settings screen for Doom. Apart from being able to select from a variety of resolutions, in here you can disable anti-aliasing and motion blur. The advanced screen offers a bit more variety on different effects. Worth noting are both the resolution scale, which can be used to reduce internal resolution and draw distance, which dramatically helps low-end GPUs, and this new graphics API, which I will talk about in a moment. While in-game, you can open the game console using the tilde button, usually on the upper left corner of your keyboard. You can experiment with commands here, and you can add them permanently to the game as launch commands by adding a plus sign, the command, and the value to be set. Instructions on audio launch commands, both in Steam and outside of Steam, are linked in the description, and I will add all my launch commands in there as well. You can use BT filter 0 to disable the filtering used on textures, BT max and ISO to reduce anisotropy to the minimum, and you can adjust the number of job threads in job num threads to match the number of cores in your CPU. Regarding resolution, full screen resolution is determined by R mode, and you can check your available R modes by writing into the console and pressing tab. You can specify an R mode on the launch commands if you need to. However, on Windows, the options are a bit more open, and you can enable the resolution you want using R window height and R window width. Now, this is the part where I will talk about the variables that you can use to lower the level of details in the game. If I had them! Just as I was preparing to record this video, the last update removed them. I'm not even kidding. Thank you so much, Bethesda or id Software or whoever decided to remove them. Feel free to experiment with other commands in the console. You can use list C bars to check a list of what the game allows you to play around with. Just before experimenting further, please check the link on the description on how to back up your save files. You may accidentally enter developer mode, which disables online play and achievements. In any case, let's talk about what they added when they removed the other thing, which is arguably a little bit more important, Vulcan support. If you still think I'm somehow making a Star Trek joke, I highly recommend you Google for some videos explaining what Vulcan is. But the basic idea is that every game requires an API to tell your GPU what to do. Every game developer cannot write code for every single GPU out there, so they write a game for a specific API, and every version of an API allows for different effects and calculations to be applied. Two of the most common APIs are DirectX, which is exclusive to Windows, and OpenGL, which is a bit more ubiquitous. Vulkan is a shiny new API with very low overhead, which allows developers to write code that is way more efficient, allowing for higher frame rates. That is all nice and cool for people looking to get hundreds of FPSs in super modern games, but does that mean anything for people with low-end computers? Well, it depends. There's a link in the description with a compatibility table for GPUs and Vulkan. NVIDIA had originally promised to add Vulcan support all the way back to the 500 series, but they silently revisioned this promise and supported only to the 600 series, which is not as low as ideally wanted. Well, that is twice in a video a company has taken something from me. Man, it is just not my day. Nevertheless, some of the 600 series cards are still old enough to struggle with the game and therefore good candidates for a little test.
Demonic presence at unsafe levels. Lockdown.
So after making sure you have a compatible card and the latest drivers, you can go ahead and turn that option to Vulkan. And man, What a difference. There's a significant change in performance between OpenGL and Vulkan. This, on the right resolution, potentially means being able to play on GPUs that are under the minimum requirements for this game, as shown right now. The draw distance of the game is limited by its internal resolution, so by all means, experiment with an internal resolution that you can get. I'm currently playing the game on the 960 by 540 on windowed. As I said, experiment with the R mode, that is going to work better for you. And if not, please consider using windowed as I am and seeing which resolution works better for you. Oh wow. Do be aware though, this is a very heavy game, and even though it could be downgraded very heavily on its first version, a lot of things have been changed in the new one. However, if you can activate Vulkan, as you can see at this moment, as I'm seeing 60 FPS, which is something that I cannot even believe myself, it makes a huge difference. Do check the compatibility list though. I have forgotten how hectic and hard this game could be sometimes. You will see slowdowns from time to time, as you see perfectly. After all, this is less than the ideal computer, but definitely the render API makes a huge difference. That is all for this special episode of the LowSpecGamer. Thank you to the Patreon contributors for your continued support. Remember that by donating just $1, you greatly help me keep this channel going. And now, finally, we go to the LowSpecGamer giveaway. Last time I asked about your favorite game mods, and the winners are Bri, I need to try that one, Francisco Manuel, and if you like classic Doom, you should definitely try Brutal Doom, and Nice Popper and Effley Rocks 2. I did not know there were so many Metro Man mods. Yeah! Congratulations. Now, this Doom game is the revival of a franchise that has been dormant for a really long time, so I ask you, what old game franchise that has been inactive for more than 10 years should someone revive? The prize for this one are 3 copies of Revolution Ace for Commons, Twitter, and Facebook, and a copy of Orion Prelude for Steam. Thank you to all the game donors. See you on the next video.